Could be drinking in a bar.
I tried to write
or
my own
moonshine in a jar.
review of that movie. Honestly,
Hey, don't
people have done it better than I can. I'm probably just gonna read something. Honestly,
don't don't blow the lead. Don't blow the lead, man.
I was kind of just letting you guys know.
Damn, Murr. That's we're sitting here trying to get through an intro, and Murr takes a giant swig. Look at that, beautiful.
Nice.
Woo-wee.
What foamy goodness is in there? I was like, I didn't know White Claws foamed that good.
Hey, listen. I don't always drink the White Claws. Okay, actually, I crashed Wes's. What was it? Your 20th high school reunion?
Yeah, you did.
And was down there, and you got this hazy IPA, man, and that is my jam. I just don't drink them because they're like 7.5%, and I get pretty fucked up. So today, I had a day. So today, I'm treating myself. So I'm treating myself to a little hazy IPA. Hazy little
remember,
thing.
you don't think about the hangover that you're gonna have. You think about the good times now.
Goddamn
Woo!
right. Fuck tomorrow.
Another Valentine's Day in the bag. Did you guys do anything for you and your old lady, or was it just I have my own feelings about Valentine's Day. It's not quite up there with the all the needless wedding celebrations, the what was it, the gender reveals, the baby showers, the what do they call it, bridal showers? Don't the bridesmaids had to have a party for the bride in lieu of the wedding? Don't they have to do that as well?
Yeah, like it's a bachelorette party, just like a bachelor party.
No, it's totally different. And they have to like gift them. They have to give them gifts and shit.
Oh, what, for the bachelorettes? Like a big
No.
thank you?
Bridesmaids who, but not all bridesmaids are bachelorettes. by the
Okay,
way.
that's what I meant. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yes. Okay. So you're saying, okay, so they throw, women are so weird, man. That's why Valentine's Day exists. Actually, women need affirmation and men don't. And I believe that Valentine's Day is a hangover from a bygone era, like the time where happy hours existed and men wore suits, even if they worked at the gas station. They wore a tie with a little clip on the front. They wore fucking wingtip shoes and shit. And they needed to be reminded that once a year, you were to show romantic love to the woman in your life and then move on with getting your soul crushed at a job that you hate for the rest of your days.
Once a year. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the only time romance.
Yeah, because men weren't romantic that many years ago. We only have this romantic idea of what like romantic love is because of movies that started to come out in the golden age of film in the 1950s. It's like you have that big lustful kiss at the very end with no tongue, which is lame.
And then the lame credits with a lame font.
And a really, really, really hot fucking like music bed.
Yeah. the drone shot pulling away, but it wasn't a drone. It's really someone tied to a fucking parachute getting cranked up.
Yes.
Don't drop the camera. All right.
Fuck
Word
Frank.
two.
Frank. The camera's worth more than Frank. If Frank falls, Frank, make sure the camera hits you in the chest on the way down.
Yeah, that's right. It's not that I don't dislike Valentine's Day. I made dinner. As a matter of fact, where I grabbed dinner supplies, the supermarket had shelled out a fucking fuck ton of flowers, and there were dozens of men frantically just trying to like, oh, I gotta get something this evening. Gotta get that flower. Gotta get them flowers. And flowers and chocolates. And you know what? I bought some. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and that's the least you can do. But Alan, you and I are both married. Wes is still a bachelor in waiting. So, what do you do? How many years you been married, and what do you do?
It'll be 5 in like a couple months.
April, right?
Yeah, in April. And we do nothing. We don't like the holiday. We actually didn't like. I think it was probably in bed, like at the end of the day, where she was like, "Oh shit, it's Valentine's Day," and I was like, "Oh shit, it is." Like, so we both have the agreement that it just sucks. Yeah, there's no need. We don't do anything for each other.
Man, I think like if you want to be romantic with your significant other and you want to do it on Valentine's Day, that's fine. That's your relationship.
Mhm.
Do it that day, do it every other day. Don't do it at all. I don't give a shit. I think my biggest hang up is the commercialized America that has convinced middle class men that they need to fucking open up their pocketbooks that day and just give a little bit more for your love. Do you know what I mean?
I think it is a threat, and I think most of us deal, or most American men deal with commercialized women, if you will, like where
Mm.
they've bought into it. And so the only reason the man is just simply going through the motions of satisfying the woman for if he does not buy the trinkets that she desires on the day that they're desired, then he will have some sort of mishap in his life, and he doesn't want that. So to avoid it, guys just go and they celebrate it in order to appease and accomplish the mission. It's almost like a fucking video game where you have to do a certain amount of steps in order to level up. And if you don't level up, you're going back a level. Guys just don't want to go back a level, so they just do it. Thankfully, I think the three of us have found women who aren't so shallow and vain that they have to have these little sectors satisfied in order to, qualify our love.
Well, I think in the same breath, I don't do this once a year. I try to be, attentive and romantic and nice and polite and, I don't like shower her with gifts, but be more than once a year,
Sure.
I mean, it's not watered down, but it doesn't. So it's not like, hey, God, Valentine's Day. You're not even going to do it for me on this day.
I think you're both kind of like onto something, right? Like Murr, I think you're right. It is probably like I think it was more modern. Like as I'm just kind of casually glancing through the history of Valentine's Day, like it does seem like modern Valentine's Day picked up in like the 1800s, like or like late in the 1700s, and it was like, oh, thanks for taking care of the kids and sitting here all day sweeping this dirt floor that we have. I appreciate you, baby. Here are these flowers and some buttermilk for you to then cook dinners with. You know what I mean? And then it kind of progressed into like, hey, baby, I work at the office all day and drink bourbon on the clock and then have dinner with my mistress. Thanks for taking care of the household and my white picket fence. Here's gifts. You know what I mean? And now we're into like this new modern age where it's just grown into, like Wes said, a capitalistic venture where it's like, well, might as well just buy red and pink cards and chocolates and all types of shit and give them to your lady to say, hey, baby, I love you.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it is just a vestige of old times, and we're just fucking, and we have ladies, like you said, they're like, fuck all that.
Yeah.
We don't need all that.
I mean, Maria called me from work, and we were like, hey, "Happy Valentine's Day! Happy Valentine's Day!" She's like, "Listen," I was like, "What's up?" She's like, "I didn't get you anything." I said, "Great, thank you." She's like, "Are
Hmm.
you sure?" I was like, "Yes, thank
Yes.
you. I don't want you to get me anything." I was like, "Babe, you don't even have to get me a card." She's like, "I'm gonna get you a card." I was like, "Fine, get me a card. Get me whatever you want, but don't think that we have to go." I was like, "If we have to show each other that we love each other through like dumb trinkets once a year, then we're doing something completely and utterly wrong. So let's not
Yeah.
worry about it." But I still follow. I always get the flowers. I always get the card, and I always get her the Ferrero Rocher chocolates. That's her thing.
That's good chocolates.
That's it.
That's good chocolate.
That's Valentine's Day, and I cook her dinner. And it's just and you know what? I'm okay with these little. I'm somewhat okay with these little things to kind of like I don't know as tradition. It's cool. I don't know. Like why do Christmas then if we want to hold the same belief for all holidays? I just yes, but I do think that there's a difference between IQ, people being smart, and EQ, people being emotionally smart. We're all pretty emotionally smart here, okay? There's guys like the Jersey Shore dudes that need to be reminded, like, oh, I gotta prove to her that I love her every now and again. Hey,
Hmm.
perfect day coming up, February 14th. Let's do it. And they have to be reminded.
Let's get reservations at a
Yeah.
restaurant that was full a month ago.
I'm sure there's like some correlation to like the general shittiness of the person as a partner and the extravagance that they go to on Valentine's. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like like I don't I don't really buy gifts. Like I would struggle to buy Kelly a gift because like we don't have children, so we're in that position where like we just kind of buy what we want when we want it. Like she's like, oh, I like these shoes. Okay. Are they more than $500? Why are you telling me? Just get them. Go away. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, I, yeah, it just seems weird. There's like no purpose in my relationship for this day to give her stuff that she already fucking buys when
Right.
she wants it anyway.
Mm.
Like, yeah,
Unless
it's like
you
okay, cool.
get yourself some like see what I like to do is I like to get chocolates that I know I'm gonna like. So for instance, I got these red velvet cake truffles. Woo-wee! I was like, these are just for you. Except after I have a few beers, I'm gonna have a few for myself.
I will say I'm probably gonna sidetrack us here for a second, but
Okay.
the only thing that I was like that might have been Valentine's-y was that like I got sanctioned to. I'm sure. Have you been on the internets recently and seen these big red boots, like the Astro Boy boots that fucking like? Hold on, here I'll bring them up for you.
Please do, because yeah,
Oh man,
Boy boots.
yeah, Astro Boy boots. Like Google Astro Boy, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So
Okay, yeah, I see. This is like an old
yeah,
'60s Japanese
here I'll
character.
share
Go for it.
my screen.
Dark Horse Comics published an English translation in 2002. The story follows Astro Boy, an android young boy with human emotions, who's created by Uramoto.
Let me share that one. Hold on.
I mean, I could bring up a.
Yeah, if you got it, I mean, go for it. I don't know why it wasn't letting me.
So is there a hot new trend with some really stupid boots?
Oh yeah, dude. So I was like I said, I was given the sanction
Very-
to buy these boots. Like if you just type in big red boots.
I just feel like we're gonna get flagged for some reason. Like even
No.
having.
Okay. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Oh
All right, we're
my,
doing
yeah,
screen.
yeah.
Do you see these?
Aren't they like Kanye's boots or something? Isn't that something he likes?
No, they're not. So there's this company that makes ridiculous shit. Like this is kind of their thing is they make like fashion, like I had no idea about them until I found these boots.
And you're buying them?
They make like fashion, but the whole point is to make like shit outrageous, like almost cartoony outrageous. So yeah, these are the boots, and she did sanction the purchase of these bad boys. But I got on, and the fucking site was basically a fucking wasteland. Like you could barely fucking load the website. They are $350.
Jesus.
They are made out of like croc material. So word on the street is they mad comfy. But oh man, I was so excited to wear these fucking things around, like just for pure fucking comedic value. Also, the resale value is like triple what they were worth. So I was totally gonna buy some, but I couldn't get it.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad the world did you a favor by not being in
Shit.
stock.
They did not, buddy. I'd have been. You'd see me traipsing around fucking Baltimore, new boot goofing, just fucking all over the place.
For about 30 seconds before you got gacked on the corner.
Probably. It's good. It's a good possibility, but it'd been worth it while it was running. Should travel with it. Should fly somewhere with those boots on in the
Yeah.
airport. Take them off at security and shit.
Are you sure to take shoes off at security? Yes, sir. Take those off. All right.
Just lay down and put my legs up and have TSA pull them off me.
Can't even get them through the fucking the whatever where you got to put all the luggage in your
Gotta
shit.
funnel them through one at a time. I gotta check them. I can't even fit them in the plane. I gotta check them.
Yeah.
Like a bag.
All your feet underneath the front, like can't go underneath the seat in front of me.
Yeah, they forced me to seat upgrade because my boots.
Yeah. Oh God. Well, if you do get them, let me know. I want.
Oh God, if I can
okay.
find them for less than $1,000 at this point, it's on.
God.
Let me see. Big red boots sale. Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, go to like StockX. I bet you they're on there.
This is no one buy these. Why are you doing this? What is the purpose?
Don't hate fun. All right. Listen. Yeah. They're going for $1,400 on StockX right now. They were $350 MSRP.
Let's make some knockoffs. Come on, let's get into the shoe biz.
Let's fucking do it.
If $1,400 can't be that hard. I know.
We just gotta start making shit. Like remember Jack Black in Orange County with the hat? Like I bet whatever that is, I bet you we could make it right now and sell millions of them.
Yeah, we could make an evaporator spray.
Yeah.
In no time.
Yeah.
We'll make shit disappear, but
Easy.
it'd be a good gag gift.
Wow, that is
perfect.
That's another deep cut movie on Wes's part. Isn't that Ben Stiller and Jack Black?
That's right.
I think so.
Yeah. That's right. He invents the evaporator. Ben Stiller wants nothing to do with it, and Jack Black ends up making gajillions.
That's right.
Bill Gates.
What movie is that?
I'd have to. Evaporator.
I like he doesn't even know what fucking
I
obscure
know.
film it's from.
But the funny thing is, I've watched the movie. It's about Ben Stiller being completely jealous. Jack Black is more than generous. I think they live underneath
Yeah.
the power lines or something.
Envy.
Envy.
Is it called Envy?
Yeah. Envy 2004. This might be another good bad movie.
That is a good bad movie. That is a
That is a
bad
good
good movie.
actually. Now that we talk about it,
We got a good bad movie review coming your way later in the show. Alan picked an excellent selection. We talked a little bit about it last week. Middle class souls, everyone. Murr, Alan, Foxman. Hey, gentlemen, we like to party, especially in big red boots. And apparently, people in New Zealand and Australia like to as well, because somewhere out on the Pacific Ocean, just off the shore of what seems to be or appears to be Australia, a little north of New Zealand, officials found, get this, 3.2 tons of cocaine. Worth about 500 million New Zealand, 316 million American. I like this. This is one of the best statistics I read of this thing. This is coming from, I don't know if it was like an official New Zealand police commissioner. He said, quote, "We believe there was enough cocaine to service the Australian market for about 1 year. It would be more than enough to service New Zealand for about 30 years.
Wow.
So apparently the New Zealanders don't party as much as the Australian brethren.
Well, I mean, the sheep ain't getting down like the folks in downtown. That's a lot of cocaine.
And it was found in like just what they say? They called it like 18. It said bales just floating in the ocean.
Yeah, well, those the cartels, like when they see something on the horizon, they'll just dump. And so I just wonder if that's just like a bunch of like, and then you got Trash Island out there too, right? Like, isn't there like some kind of weird current system that causes all like the plastic to coalesce into a giant island? And I'm wondering if just over the years, all this cocaine, just like a bale here, a couple bales there, has just eventually like coalesced into like Cocaine Island.
So we actually check that. I don't think I want to get into the big red boot business. I want to go down the Trash Island and see what we can scavenge.
But they're the same business. See, the big red boots allow you to walk on water to go collect your cocaine.
that's true. You just float.
Yeah. Now I've heard of situations where, let's say, some scumbag gets apprehended by the police. He takes off and ditches a little bag of grass. Back when it was illegal. Cop catches him, handcuffs him, like, "We're walking back. We're finding out where you. I saw you throw that bag." And then they catch it, and he's like, "That wasn't me." Now, okay, a little dime bag in the late '90s, early 2000s is a far cry from like, "Hey, looks like it's New Zealand police. Dump 81 bales over the boat. Get off of here. We're going." I mean, that's not just like a couple of cronies fucking pushing these things off the side. Unless they had it on a dinghy tied to a rope and you just cut the rope.
I think there's a movie where like something similar to this happens, and then the rest of the movie is them trying to figure out how to fish it all out. And I don't know how it ends. Not well for the people that are trying to collect the bales of cocaine. But I wonder if there is maybe okay, we'd have to obviously work off the books here. I wonder if there's like a recovery operation amongst the people who distribute this kind of shit. Because I mean, New Zealand's an island, so there's no way to get. I mean, unless you're in the backwoods where they filmed Lord of the Rings, like stomping on coca leaves with fucking kerosene and fucking gasoline. Like, how do you get cocaine on or off the island? You got to bring it there by boat, ship, or sub.
Right.
Which are two of the same thing and one or the other.
Or up your butt in a plane.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Straight up get into the Greek style. Just bloop, right up in there.
Jesus. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know.
So what was the point? That you have to bring it by ship?
You have to bring it by ship, but I mean, obviously they've had to. I don't think this was all jettisoned on one adventure, if you will. I'm saying like this is like years of like, hey, I think I see the popo on the horizon. Let's go ahead and dump the cargo now. And then there's no cocaine recovery system. I'm just saying, Black Ops operation. We offer our services. We get ourselves a speedboat. We wear ridiculous boots and some sunglasses, and we go out, and it's like, hey, what are you boys doing out here? Like, we're just partying, man. And then when they leave, we go collect all the bales of cocaine. We go back to New Zealand, and we
Yeah.
live for 30 years free.
Something tells me that we have to have a little bit of a better cover story than "Hey, we're partying, man" for the New Zealand Navy. But maybe not too terribly different. Maybe just got to do a good New Zealand accent. Do you have a good I know it's slightly different than the Aussie accent. Hey, we're partying, man.
Terrible at it. I'm
I
not even gonna.
gotta work on it. Okay, fair enough.
You were close up to the stupid American laugh. That wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It's like my Ben Hogan. Or wait, no, Paul Hogan. Sorry, Ben Hogan was the golfer. I get Ben, Paul, and Hawk mixed up all the time.
Oh, that's easy. I can see that.
Yeah,
They all look alike.
a pro golfer from the 50s, an actor from the 80s, and arguably one of the greatest pro wrestlers of all.
They all had a similar aesthetic.
Mm.
Lots of sweaters and fucking leather fucking crocodile hats on all three of them.
Not Ben, not the pro golfer. Okay, dressed like a 50s pro golfer.
I'm aware.
Yeah, that's what we do. We just say we're looking for Ben Hogan, Paul Hogan, one of the Hogans, the Hogan family.
Yeah, that'll do.
Did you know
See
Paul?
these big rabbits?
Did you know Paul Hogan was like the Benny Hill of like Australia for a long time before he became Crocodile Dundee?
That was his claim to fame. That's how he got in the biz.
Yeah, no, he did like a stupid slapstick sketch show. Like he would walk around on the beach and then trip and his face would fall into a woman's ass crack and then he'd have to like, run away from the big steroided out boyfriend and just dumb shit like that. That was Paul Hogan. He was a slapstick like Mr. Bean comedian. And then all of a sudden they were like, we need an Aussie that can actually act. And then Paul Hogan pretended he could act and became Crocodile Dundee, one of the most iconic characters of all time.
Yeah.
Wait,
Huh.
you're
I didn't know that.
gonna throw around one of the most iconic characters of all time. You're just willy nilly with that title.
I would probably agree with him there.
Thank you.
Yeah, you think Australia, you think fucking Death by Wild Animal,
Yeah.
and fucking Paul Hogan.
So you're saying Australian characters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or when you're talking New Zealand, is he
I'm-
from New Zealand?
I'm
Oh,
talking.
no.
I'm
Who
talking.
cares? It's the same fucking place.
I'm talking
He's
film
talking-
characters. I'm talking film fucking characters. If I said that's not a knife, that's a knife.
Yeah, you'd know exactly who that is.
100%. How many movie characters can you do that with?
Dozens.
Sure, but is that's
Dozens isn't like a lot, though.
Less than like 100. I say like over 100 is hundreds.
okay? And I would say that makes Crocodile Dundee one of the most iconic movie characters of all time. So iconic that like 2 years ago, like Australia put together this really covert ops like Visit Australia campaign where they pretended they were making Crocodile Dundee 3, like and what's his oh shit. The guy played the baseball player. Fuck.
Tom Selleck.
Kenny Powers.
Okay.
Bernie Mac?
They had Kenny Powers. They had Kenny Powers pretending to be Crocodile Dundee's son, and then Chris Hemsworth comes
Oh,
along.
yeah, they did have that.
They had that
Kenny
huge,
McBride.
and everybody got fucking excited about another Crocodile Dundee movie, and then Australia was like, "Just kidding, mate. Come visit Australia." Rightio.
But I'm still hung up on the most iconic characters of all time. That's fine. Hey, look, it's subjective. It's your list. It's your.
It's
know,
not
maybe we-
subjective. That's the problem. And that's where you're wrong. It's not subjective.
You're saying he's more of an iconic. He's not even the most in his country. That'd be Mad Max.
I don't even know if Mad Max was technically in Australia. I think that was just like it was made in Australia.
Future Australia after the
I don't
the
think
rat
so.
Yeah, I don't think it was supposed to be Australia at all, like story-wise.
Yeah.
Where does Mad Max take place?
It just so happens that Mel
That's like
Gibson.
being like Lord of the Rings happened in New Zealand. No, I mean no, it happened in Middle Earth, motherfucker. Middle Earth just doesn't exist, and they happen to use New Zealand as a fucking set.
Exactly.
I'm looking at it right here. The writers say the series follows adventures of a police officer in a future Australia.
Okay.
Oh, huh.
Okay.
Who knew?
That's fine.
You knew I knew.
But
That's who,
I-
motherfuckers.
but-
You had to look it up. You didn't know.
Oh, did I just pull
thought.
this out of my nonsense?
Yes, you did. You did.
But-
Absolutely. Yes, you did. The answer to that question is yes.
If I asked 100 people who the most iconic Australian movie character is, they would. I'm going to say. Oh man, I would almost bet that nobody would say Mad Max. Was his name even Max in Mad Max? What the fuck?
Yeah, it was Max.
It was Max. No
I
one's
think it
gonna.
was
No one's gonna be like, definitely Max from Mad Max. They're gonna be like fucking Crocodile Dundee.
Wasn't there like a?
You're gonna be like Steve Irwin. He wasn't even a character.
He kind of was in character.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like a kangaroo that was like a cartoon character?
Oh, there was that movie with Anthony Anderson, right?
Yeah. See, we might get some
I think
people.
it was
that-
Kangaroo Jack. Actually,
That's it. See, might get that guy.
No, probably not.
I'm still mad at you.
Look,
I'm
it's not-
actually.
look, there's not a whole lot from down there. You got to pick and choose your battles.
But I'm really like mad at Wes right now though. I like because he's such a movie guy. I just feel like him denying the credibility of Crocodile Dundee is just it's hurtful actually.
Listen, when you start throwing out titles like that, yeah, I'm gonna get a little like pick one of the most iconic characters in all of cinema.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're saying like in the top 100, I still say in the pantheon of cinema, that's still a high number, even if he's number 100.
All right. So, like, for argument's sake, Wes,
Mhm.
who, barring a top 20 fucking star,
Okay,
who falls on that list that's not Crocodile Dundee?
so you're throwing some pretty tight criteria.
Yeah, well, because I don't want you to be like, well, fuck Tom Hanks. All right, got it. Not the obvious shit. Like,
Michael
moving-
Corleone and Godfather, or
Yeah,
maybe
that's-
Brando, but okay.
I think that's still fucking very high up the
Okay.
list. I'm talking, I need you to give me fucking the lead in the movie that I'm about to talk to you about later today. Like that kind of obscurity. Like Napoleon Dynamite, I'd venture to say probably a top 100 fucking movie character of all time.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
what, you gonna argue that? No,
And he
you
didn't.
can't.
And he didn't even get a sequel. Crocodile Dundee, an obscure Australian like movie, was so high grossing in the States that they needed it. They were like, fuck, let's ride this cash cow to another one. Let's bring him to LA.
Right. So yeah, like I was like guys like John McClane are out.
Oh,
Uh,
I mean, obviously, John Rambo,
Yeah.
John McClane, Neo.
Yeah.
I mean, these are highfalutin motherfuckers. The Terminator.
Yeah, Rambo, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So it's kind of, I mean, it's almost like this actor or actress can only be known for that. I mean, they've probably starred in some other stuff, but that's just like gun to my head, I couldn't tell you something else Paul Hogan was in.
exactly. So that almost has to make him of that character one of the most iconic, does it not?
It's weird.
Like,
I'm making
you know this guy for anything. I just want to see fucking Australian Bobby Hill or Benny Hill. Like, could you imagine fucking like they playing the Benny Hill music on like a didgeridoo and he's chasing fucking alligators and shit? Like that would be fucking phenomenal. Comedic value alone.
Did he go by his government name?
I think it was the-
character. Else?
It was like the Paul Hogan show. It was just like the Benny Hill show, but it was the Paul Hogan show, and it was slapstick comedy. It was not Crocodile Dundee by any stretch, which tells me that Paul Hogan's got some range to him. Okay, he was a big fucking deal. That's all I know. And your brother turned me on to this, and I watched some stupid episodes, and I was like, okay, we're done here.
I hope fucking Brother Dewey Love chimes in on this conversation because I have a feeling he's got some older brother bullying of you to do.
Christ, he's 83. None of us guessed that he's going to die. And I don't know. Crocodile Dundee doesn't die. But check this out. I totally forgot this. He was in Flipper with Elijah Wood.
Again, riding that fucking Dundee fucking credibility to the bank.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, a 30 on Rotten Tomatoes. God, I don't remember that one. Whoo-wee.
Oh,
Yeah, buddy.
he was in another one where he was like a former boxer.
I'll check this out in a minute, but fuck me, dude. The Paul Hogan Show, 11 seasons.
Yeah. I'm telling
12 seasons. Sorry.
dude.
Yeah, and you hadn't even heard of it till tonight, but you know who the fucking Crocodile Hunter is, or whatever the fuck is the Crocodile Dundee is.
You're right. Yeah, sorry. I wasn't tapped into the Australian TV market in the mid-80s.
That's right.
Silly me. I should have wound those bunny ears a little higher. Should have put a little more aluminum foil on them.
Listen, buddy, you come at the Prime Minister, you best not miss.
I'll tell you what, though, we should get ourselves some Pacific Ocean cocaine bales, and we can watch all 12 seasons in a night.
Yeah, yeah. We don't even have to call the guy again.
Nope.
It's all right here.
All right there.
I got 30 years of New Zealand yayo just waiting to go.
Good stuff.
And then it'll turn into like a Ted situation. Remember the Ted where what's his face? Fucking Flash Gordon comes in, does blow with him.
Yes.
Ben Hogan comes in. Oh, he's here. He's
Ben Hogan.
Is that the
Sorry.
golfer?
Yes.
All three of them come in and says simultaneously.
Paul Hogan smashes in with golf clubs and gives all of us a leg drop. All right, it does all of our blow and leaves. That's how it ends. It says, "Good night, mate." A knife.
No,
I'm Crocodile Dundee. Bye. That's a famous line from the movie, right?
Yeah, sure.
something like that.
Oh, shit.
Well, I hope I don't know. Actually, sorry, I don't want to end on a down note, but the New Zealand government's going to destroy it.
By via what?
They don't say. Maybe that's a lie. Maybe it's an inside job. Yeah, it's right.
We're gonna destroy it. By the way, the New Zealand Police Department's bull roast is this weekend.
Ay, ay, ay. All right. Well, I think it's time for a little segment that we. That came
Oh,
from.
good
Glorious. That was glorious. No, just keep going. Just keep going. Don't worry about the heartburn. Just use it.
Yeah.
good.
No. I was worried I was going to barf. Nothing about heartburn. A little segment that we haven't done in quite some time. I think it's been a few months, but this is called One and Done.
All right. Well, this one and done is actually inspired by Brother Dewey Love, the person who discovered the Paul Hogan show and presented it to me. For some reason, this past weekend, he was telling me how he was thinking about my penis. And we had a long discussion about my penis and the time that he saw my penis. I was unaware that he saw my penis, but you know what? During the discussion of my penis with your brother, Wes, I in no way, shape, or form was embarrassed to know that he'd actually seen my penis. Now, backstory is that I was a little boozed up one night and maybe was lying on my stomach and vomited in my own bed and was calling for help so that I didn't drown like Jimi Hendrix in my apartment in Elkton, Maryland, and they dragged me into the bathtub to where I stripped down and got myself nice, warm, and cozy in the old tub. And apparently they were checking on me, and yeah, the old hog was just wild and free. So, my one and done question for you guys tonight: would you rather have all your friends see you naked, just strutting about in front of them, or would you rather have all of your coworkers see you presented naked, and why? Alan, let's start with you. Which is more embarrassing, I guess?
I mean, I don't know. I guess I would say, I guess my coworkers. I am devoid of shame. When the moment arises, you know what I mean. There's just like, we've been to a keg race, like all decorum goes out the window, like, and I'm okay with that. Like there's a picture of me somewhere after a keg race with just like beer vomit down to my belly button.
And actually,
like power pointing at someone from across the room. Like, it's a pretty iconic photo. So, like, I mean, I guess the work people, because, like, I get naked in front of a room of like, y'all, no problem. I'd be like, whatever. I don't care. So I guess my coworkers, because they're less close to me, so it feels like, you know, that I think that would just be slightly more embarrassing, because I don't, like, fuck y'all. I don't give a shit what y'all think. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think if I'm picking, I'm saying, I guess, work.
Okay, and that's interesting, and I'll explain why after Wes.
yeah, Alan, I don't know if you remember this, but there was one night where you and I pissed in the same toilet at the same time.
See, exactly. I'm sure that's probably not the only time.
I don't even know. I don't even think there was much of a line. I think we were just both like, oh, I gotta pee. Me too, man. Let's pee at the same time in this toilet. Word. Okay.
And I
Yes.
guarantee there was a Ghostbusters reference made.
Get
Go
There
girl
was definitely
scream.
a stream crossing.
him, Egon. Yeah, mine's not as yellow as yours.
We weren't even at a party. We were just in his house. We were hanging out. There's no reason.
Yeah, not that like I. This is an interesting question because you have had some one and dones, or back when it was three and out, where it was like some serious grotesque. Would you rather this or that? Things that were just like, almost. This is a kind of a lesser of two evils, but in a way that I don't. Would I be shamed or disgusted or grossed out for the rest of my life? No, not particularly. I think I'm assuming there's no like human resource repercussions in this, right? I'm not going to get shit canned after.
No. This is a which scenario are you more comfortable with? Stripping down and being presented to your friends, or stripping down and being presented to your coworkers? And the reason I ask it though is because like I was totally comfortable like knowing and talking to your brother about him seeing my dick. But then I started thinking about like, man, but at work, like, what would that be like? But those people are essentially strangers to me. So what do I care what they think? I should care more about what my friends think. However, it would seem as though that the judgment would come more from the strangers and less from the close personal family friends.
Yeah, but I also think that like it wouldn't get, because my friend group just basically has no shame. Any little peccadillo or any little thing that's like that story from the past, it gets brought up tenfold a gajillion times, and then with each and every year it gets more and more folklore-y and more like fake and fictional. With the coworkers, I feel as though they just like, it might get brought up once a year at a happy hour when everyone has a little like one too many margaritas. Like, remember Wes gave us the fucking the bat wings.
Yeah, exactly. Send some gum. No, that's exactly right. Like I think at work there's like this thin veil of like adult and professionalism that I can, you know what I mean? Like I wax intellectual about systems that save lives in buildings and like as my day job, but then I'm also like blackout drunk crossing streams with fucking Wes. You know what I mean? In a bar bathroom that doesn't have a line. Like things of that nature. So like he's right. There's like I think that little bit of the veil of like these people don't really know who I am. Like my friends have already seen me worse than naked. I'm fairly certain. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
so
I don't know what you're saying, but
yeah, I mean, well, maybe not like where I don't know what's worse than naked, but like, yeah, like they've seen some shit. We've done some shit. Whereas my coworkers, they haven't. They don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know what's coming.
Was it good to? It's usually the first guy that quit our pledge class. They made a point for us to show you like what this meant, and they threw his pledge book down, set it on fire, and then made all of us piss it out in a circle. And we're like, he was like, take your dicks out, piss on this damn thing. We're like, oh, you aren't kidding. Okay.
Oh, you just okay.
You really meant to do that.
I guess so.
Yeah, but I don't know what this proves, but.
And there's something to be said, like the one who whipped his dick out first was the one who got the plaudits from the fraternity. Like, you know, the fraternity was like, yeah, you see, this guy gets it.
Yeah.
Be more like this pledge. Whip your dick out first when we tell you to. Like
this guy gets it.
So that's kind of what you're asking the question to two people who've undergone that brainwashing.
Right.
That's fair. No, I always, it was almost freeing having this conversation with your brother Wes, because I was like, no secrets. If like literally, there's like the shame of nudity is like the last secret barrier that has to be breached in order to like have like this moment of enlightenment between like the people you care about the most for some reason. It's like, because then there's nothing to hide. That shameful thing that you have to hide, it's now out in the open. And I actually feel freer now knowing that that's been exposed. But at work, I just feel like
Yeah.
it would come to somebody would make a snippy little comment like just out as a joke and be like "fuck you," and then there'd be like some fisticuffs that go down that like, and there's got to be HR involved, and then there's got to be this, there's got to be that. So yeah, I'm definitely taken in front of my friends. In fact, you know what? Right now, let's just put it on camera.
All right.
Be more than friends.
But no, like I think that there's something I don't know. Yeah, like you're right. I couldn't react a certain way if like a coworker was like. So I get that, but like, yeah, I fuck it. Who cares? I'd do either one.
Okay.
Honestly, let's be real.
By the
Yeah,
way,
I'm-
Wes, did you have to take the mandatory shower in middle school? Did they still have that when you were there?
No, and there was the rumor mill that it was going to have to happen. So I kind of like mentally prepared myself. Like, okay, well, this is going to happen. And then, yeah, like the end of the first day of gym class, it was like, it's like, oh, so we're not getting naked. Wow. Okay. Wild.
Wait, so Mur, did you shower in middle school?
We had to. There was like a mandatory shower day. Wes knows the iconic Mr. Hammond. It was like, all right, get to the locker room, strip it down. Everybody getting showers. It's getting great. You're getting graded. It's mandatory. So it was.
That sounds like the behavior of a predator.
Yeah.
But can you imagine like the paradigm? So Murr graduated high school when I was in 8th grade. So think about that. So he was in middle school when I was in in the middle to latter part of elementary school. Yeah, like the paradigm shift that took place in that 3.5 to 4 years where, I don't know, someone raised hell or some PTA member was like, or some teacher was like, I think we just got to give up on this whole nudity thing, just let it go. And yeah, it happened. No, we didn't have to do it. The other thing too, I had like a couple of those run of the muck bullshit gym classes, like my junior and senior year of high school, ones that like just the electives that I didn't have to take, but I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna take a gym class because I'm fucking jock. This is what I do. And there's a couple times where I had them turn the showers on and would just like get my hair and like the back of my neck wet and then go to class. And I can't think of how fucking grimy I was and how much I sweat playing basketball for an hour and a half. And then to like just get my hair wet and put deodorant on and not shower fully. And then throw normal clothes on and go to a math class.
I'm pretty sure that like after football season, the showers in the high school like weren't turned on until football season again. Because I'm pretty sure if you turned them on, like they would spray like rust for like the first like 30 seconds. Because I never showered in high school. I didn't want to. Why would I? I mean, that's a group of quote unquote friends that are also strangers. And I bring up the middle school thing because I learned during that mandatory shower session that there were some dudes that were way too comfortable getting naked in front of everyone. And then there was the normal folks that were like really like myself, very apprehensive. I did it because I had to, but I did not enjoy it. But there were some that were using that shower room like a slip and slide, maybe grabbing each other in areas of the body that shouldn't be grabbed by middle schoolers, even amongst middle schoolers. It was an interesting experience.
No, look, that's I think any group, right? Like the say Wes, your pledge class, probably the same thing, right? At some point, you got down to either naked or basically naked at some point in time, and there was the group that was like, we're not doing that, right? And then there was like the group like in the middle where I was like, are we okay? And then just go ahead. And then there was a group that, well, honestly for us it was just like one dude who like they were like, all right guys, go ahead, take, and he was already naked, like they didn't get the fucking sentence out. So like I feel like that's just kind of how it is, right?
I heard the inflection in your voice. I knew what you were gonna say.
Yeah, exactly. It was, oh, you said take my clothes off, right? Pants first. He was that kind of guy. So So yeah, I mean, it happens, man. Like, people don't be ashamed about being naked.
This is
You know?
this isn't a story. We're going off on tangents here before we get to Fun Fact Friday. This isn't necessarily Murray. You jarred something loose in my memory. All right, so this involves the high school, and then in soccer. So prior to school starting, we were still doing 2-a-days for soccer. 2 weeks before the first day of class, and this is Givens, the gym coach, who later became my basketball coach for most of high school, and he hated a lot of people. But anyway,
It was mutual. Don't worry.
yeah, oh yeah, between the first practice and the second practice, I did what any 14-year-old would do and had myself a cheesesteak and some Mountain Dew and some chips. And by the time the warm-ups were commenced for the afternoon practice, I heard a it's like, oh, yep. If I run anywhere, I'm gonna poop my pants right here in the soccer field. So I begged coach. I was like, listen, I'll run whatever I got to do. I know we're still in conditioning. We're not even seeing a soccer ball, but yeah, this like something bad's gonna happen here. You're gonna have to call the guy. Forget the goddamn janitor. You're gonna have to call the fucking Coast Guard if I have an accident here in the middle of the field. So he's like, all right, just go and get up there, do my business, and lo and behold, they haven't stocked any of the toilets with any toilet paper.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah, so I was like, oh man. And so I was like, all right, maybe they got paper towels. Nope, no paper towels. So I kind of waddle in and it wasn't him, it was the other coach, Dorsett. He was reading the newspaper and I was like, oh, excuse me. So mind you, I'd been to the school once maybe to watch a basketball game when I was in middle school. I was like, I was just using the bathroom and there's no toilet paper. And he's like, oh yeah, come with me. We'll get you some toilet paper. We walk across the gym floor. He asked me if I had flat-soled shoes on. I didn't know what flat-soled shoes were. I was like, oh yeah. And we get to where the gym meets the cafeteria. In bus Charles Givens, 50-year-old black dude. He was like, hey, what's up? What do you guys want? He's like, yeah, Mr. I was like, Mr. Fox here was using the bathroom. There's no toilet paper. So you need some toilet paper? How much toilet paper you need, son? It's like, the normal amount after you fucking diarrhea dookied all over a toilet. I don't know. I was like, I gave a measurement with my fingers that was about 1.5, like that much. And so he walks away. And I had to have this awkward conversation with this gym coach while I'm still kind of like clenching my butt cheeks. And yeah, he comes back and he goes, here you go. It was about half of what I asked for. I was like, oh, great, I'll make do. And then they both realized I had cleats on and they were like, get off the gym floor. And I had to like kind of run across the gym floor, semi-waddled style. And then coach was like, where the hell have you been? It's like, oh, I'll just run.
I'm just gonna run.
How much toilet paper you need, son?
A half a roll.
Sir, you don't want to know the answer to that. All right. Let's Fun Fact Friday it up.
All right, let's get to some mental floss. Amazing facts! Brought to you, of course, by the Shin Splints Recovery Group and our brand new sponsor, Flat Earth Science. What is it? The quest for truth. That's what we
quest for truth. And by the way, they just posted a really educational video. I mean, this is like hard hitting of the utmost accredited fact-finding thing you could ever imagine. Check it out.
Okay, yeah, make sure you find it on Facebook. Just search for Earth. What is it? Flat Earth Science on Facebook. God damn.
Just search for Earth.
The real Earth. Okay, the flat Earth. Let's get to it. Some amazing facts on your Fun Fact Friday. Did you know Chuck Yeager, who was born on this day 100 years ago, will forever be known as the first man to break the sound barrier when he piloted the experimental Bell X-1 rocket plane to record speeds back in October 1947. He would repeat the feat 65 years later at the age of 89 as the co-pilot of an F-15D launched from Nellis Air Force Base.
What? Was that? Hold on. Okay, maybe I'm like mixing up. One, I don't know all those facts. I knew he was the first person to break the sound barrier. Did they? Was he the one that they sent into space again, like 10 years ago, as an old man, or was that?
That was John Glenn.
Was that John? Okay. I remember that. No, I did not know that. 56 years later, they also performed the same feat again. Jesus, God, what a badass!
Yeah, you're goddamn right, because not one of us has broken the sound barrier, and 89 years old, fucking like cracking that shit. But I mean, but honestly, go back to when he did it for the first time. They didn't know what would happen. They didn't know if like the sound barrier would just like blast through your body and just like explode everything around you. And this motherfucker's like, fuck it, I'm doing it. Like these are the kinds of like, we talk a lot about toxic masculinity in the current era. Well, God damn it, sometimes you need a little bit of masculinity. Sometimes it needs to be toxic to fucking create some progress in this goddamn world.
You should look at the little. He was born in Myra, West Virginia. I don't even think this town has like a crossroad. It's an area.
It's a village.
No, it's not a village. It's an area.
On the map where three roads meet, and all I'm looking at it as close as I can see, and there's a tractor trailer on the side of the road. That's it.
And that's now.
Yeah. 1923 when he's born.
Right.
That's where one family lives.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I see the pictures of my grandfather. I mean, like one of like 15 kids in like rural South Carolina, like just wearing burlap shorts and nothing else. It's like there's been a lot of progress in the last 100 years, including breaking the sound barrier, which is phenomenal for a guy who basically just strapped himself to a big metal box full of rocket fuel.
I wonder what the whole like what the surroundings were with the stunt of him doing it 56 years later. I mean, I'm not saying stunt, but like, do you think someone maybe fronts the money for like a Spanky Spangler or like Christ, who was the guy who flew over Caesars in his bike and his son tried to like the stunt man.
Talking about Evil Knievel?
Evel Knievel and then his son Robbie Knievel. Like people, there are people who front money for the whole production of those. I'm wondering if there was something like that.
Well, I think it was, hey, old Chuck ain't gonna be with us much longer. He's 89, and I think that the F-15D. Now I know a little bit about aircraft, but I think the F-15D was like the prototype for what became the F-22 Raptor, because the F-15 was on its way out, and so D is a pretty high number for a fighter jet. So so it would be pretty advanced for an F-15, which would have been super advanced in the 1980s, and D would mean it was super, super duper advanced for whenever he did it. And so it was just like to commemorate this badassery. Let's get some bitch back up there. He wants to go, and we want to see him do it.
Yeah, man. And then Maverick did it, but under much more strenuous circumstances. John Maverick.
John Maverick, is that what you're going with?
No, it's. I don't even know. It's like I know his fictional name, but I'm drawing a blank.
Okay, well then we'll wait for it.
John Rambo, Maverick, Hogan.
Okay, yeah, I would argue that Crocodile Dundee is actually a more iconic character than John Maverick.
Bullshit. Pete Mitchell. Sorry.
I rest my case. Did you know Simon West, director of Con Air and The Expendables 2, also directed Rick Astley's 1987 video for Never Gonna Give You Up? Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. Never gonna deserve you.
So that just goes to show you he saw beauty in not only the voice but the aesthetics of a man like Rick Astley, who was a beautiful man. He didn't have to have some far-fetched thing of like, ex-cons or cons taking over a plane, and whatever else what'd you say? What was the second one after Con Air? Expendables 2, yeah. You need to do all that nonsense. That's a good resume though. You know,
It's not
that's
bad. I mean, yes, I will say it's good. It is a good resume.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
look, it's decent. I know all three of those things.
yeah. Nick Cage's character from that is iconic. Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's no Spielberg, but
Cameron
I'm
Poe.
aware of all three of his works.
Imagine if that was
So,
that.
hey,
Imagine if those were his only 3 jobs. If they were his only 3 jobs. So what have you done? Well, I've only done 3 things in my career. What's that? I directed Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up video. Okay. I did Con Air. Holy shit. Okay. And Expendables 2. Somehow the least impressive of the 3.
Yeah, I mean that's better than a lot of people's accomplishments in lifetime.
Would you
Put that resume up against mine.
hold on?
I could take away.
Here you go. Would you argue, considering the longevity of Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up, especially since it became a meme and a like viral thing, is that the most accomplished work that he's ever done?
The director.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone could have directed that. What are they? You had some uplighting. You have a couple strobe lights. You had like a Rick Astley in a wife beater with a white dress shirt, unbuttoned, kind of flailing around. You know, yeah.
He was doing
And
the
then
Carlton dance for like 5 minutes while singing the song.
Right. Indoor was black and white. Outdoor was color. You know, a couple different lenses. You know, it didn't. Michael Bay could have done better, but that's okay. You know. Hey, check the cast out in Con Air. Nick Cage, Cusack, Malkovich, Steve Buscemi, and Danny Trejo.
Mm-hmm.
And Chappelle. Fuck, I forgot he was in that. Joe Parker, iconic. Talk about iconic.
Dude, Con Air is a good bad movie, in all honesty. It's so bad it's good. That voice that Nick Cage is doing is god awful. I don't even know what that is. It's not an accent performed by any human on any continent.
yeah, it's really bad actually. I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember that.
I brought you this. Hands her a fucking sweaty fucking bunny rabbit or some shit. I made it out of my my Michael Bolton hair.
Found this Rick Astley tape.
It kept me going because I'm never gonna give you up. Did you know? Before making his way to California, David Tran fled Vietnam on board a freighter ship named the Hoi Fong. When he started selling sriracha sauce in the U.S., he named his brand Hoi Fong after the boat.
I feel like I should have paid a little more attention. He was on, it might have been Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, but it wasn't Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. It was some sort of Food Network thing, like How They Make It. It may have even been with Andrew Zimmern, where they they deep dove into his the main plan. I'm sure there's dozens of them all over the place, but it was incredibly interesting. But no, I didn't know it was what Hoi Fun.
Hoi Fong was no fun. No, Hoi Fong. Yeah, it was just the name of the freighter that he fucking like basically stowed away on to get to America. But what I find fascinating about not just about the fact, but like this guy created a sauce. This guy, I know I might be going a little too deep on this, but in the history of the world, this guy found the perfect blend of spices and ingredients to create one of the best-selling condiments of all time. Like, that's amazing. That's just amazing. Sriracha's fucking... I didn't discover sriracha until about 2 years ago, and I was like, this is the perfect blend of hot and sweet and sour and just all the things that your tongue loves. Oh my God. Sriracha. No wonder everybody loves it. It's delicious.
It is pretty good.
There was actually. Do you guys remember Orange Is the New Black?
I mean, I know of it. I didn't watch it.
Same.
Yeah, they set up a fake kind of what would be what you describe as like a student council within the they have inmates who they've elected as part of like a board that has a vote And it's all fake, by the way. But after the first meeting, even one of them says, like, yeah, I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna get that red sauce with the motherfucking rooster. I put that shit on everything. You know what she's talking about? It's sriracha.
Sriracha sauce.
Any guesses on this guy's net worth?
Ooh,
A lot.
I'm gonna say 5 billion.
5 billion?
You said, hey, listen.
That's a
hey,
lot of money for some sauce.
Let me tell you something. But okay, there's been plenty of people who have created a sriracha-esque sauce that's not sriracha. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so the business itself is worth about $1 billion. Alan, any guesses?
Net worth a couple $100 million. 250.
80.
Oh, okay. That was I way overshot it.
I mean,
Okay,
you know,
hold on.
only 80.
I gotta pause here a second. Anytime somebody says, anybody want to guess what his net worth is, it's usually a ridiculous number. Okay, 80 million for a guy who's got a global brand, to me, I feel like he's been lowballed. I feel like he's lost somehow.
He's getting scammed.
I do. I
Yeah.
feel that way.
He's getting sriracha'd.
I mean, I felt like 5 billion would be like, this guy's got a global brand, one of the greatest selling condiments of the last 20 years. I figured he would be worth more
He
than
probably
$80 million.
he probably went to one of the sharks and they, you know, it was like Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary fucked him over. I want 20% of your business. Actually, Alan, have you ever seen Shark Tank?
Yeah. Like the show?
Yeah.
Yes.
I really like that show. I don't
So do
watch
I.
as much as I used to, but and that's what I'm saying. Murr hit me up randomly. This is like 10 years ago because this is when we were still kicking around the idea of flow cakes, and these people are like having like serious reservations about selling out. Like, you know, sharks, I want 400,000 for 5% of my business. And they're like, all right, I'll give you 400,000 for 20%. And like, and nearly every time I'm like, do it, come on. And I saw one last night and I get it. It's your fucking baby. It's like, you know, what you've poured blood, sweat, and tears and nearly every cent in your bank account over and probably then some. You're probably negative. But man, like fucking swallow your pride. Give up 15% of that company.
Dude, my perspective is exactly what Wes is talking about. It's, look, what are you doing now? Are you delivering mail? Is that what you're doing right fucking now? Would you like to get in bed? If one of these sharks makes you an offer, even if it's a bad offer, you're looking at $1 million a year in your bank account. You're retired in 10 fucking years. Easy. And you're living large in 10 years on that retirement. Fucking take whatever. If they even offer you, fucking take it. Don't fucking do that whole like, can we have a minute to go outside the doors and talk for a second? No, you can't. Then that's a deal. Like fucking Nick Cage your way to a fucking retirement plan. End of story. I don't care if they want 65 fucking % of my goddamn business. Can I work for you? Yeah. Then you're guaranteed to make $150,000 a year, which is still more than you're making delivering mail.
Yeah. Isn't the American dream to sell out, man?
Goddamn right it
Fucking-
is.
That's the American dream. Sell out, bro. Whatever. What's the next fact?
Yeah.
You got something
Did you
selling
know?
out to DiBiase?
in 19th century rural Austria, ladies looking for love would cram a slice of apple under their armpit during dances. At the end of the night, she would give the well-worn fruit to the man she most fancied. If he reciprocated her feelings, he'd prove it by gobbling down that apple slice.
And those Austrians are kinky as fuck. I knew it.
Goddamn
Those
right.
Austrians. Alan, you've met a couple kinky Austrians, huh?
You know it, buddy. Look, this is one thing we know about Austria. It's depravity, sexual depravity. That's their national motto.
Well, as soon as I read that, I thought of Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade, where she's like, this is how we say goodbye in Austria. And she gives him this big fucking mouth sucker, and then she like bites his lip and pulls away. And I'm like, oh, god damn, I'd eat your apple slice, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact, though, it goes both ways. So, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger does that when he meets you and you leave. So, You take it for what it's worth. You know,
Oh man, I'd kiss the Terminator. Fuck it.
they're polite people, is what I'm saying.
I also think it's like it goes both ways too, because like you figure, okay, I got some apple slices up in here, I'm gonna dance around. I got, God forbid the wave or some sort of dance that requires an up movement. I got to be like from the Unshore deodorant commercial. I can't I can't go that high, right? And then you've danced around. Presumably these are balls, right? You called it. It wasn't a dance. It was a ball,
Yes.
right? Hours of
Yeah.
dancing. You have the gall to hand it to a man that you're like, hey, I've chosen you. And this just goes to show you that men are fucking shameless pigs. They're like, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah, because you know you're getting a slice of something a little sweatier when you get back to the room.
Yeah, that's when that ball music really did me in. Let's put in some R. Kelly. Austrian 1930s R. Kelly.
And finally, did you know? Oh, this is going to take me a second. This is Latin, and I don't know it. Stercilium pelcilium is a Latin insult that literally translates to public poop pile.
Kind of waiting for a rebound for that public poop pile. Alan, we could probably, we
Yeah.
got some influence, right?
I think so.
Well, the thing is,
Stockolilium, palladium.
what this gives me like more joy than it should is that like people were calling each other a piece of shit like eons ago, thousands of years ago. There was an eloquent way to call someone a piece of shit. You're a public poop pile. That's
Stockolilium, coilium.
Stercullium Sterculium publicium. There you go. Sterculium picilium.
That's when you got. I'm sure the public schools that still teach, or private schools rather, that still teach Latin. That's when you gotta like really fucking throw the curveball at the class. Point at the kid that's just being an asshole. Stockolilium, colilium. You don't know what that means.
Welcome
Idiot.
to pharmaceuticals and insults. I'll be your teacher.
That's what is feces? Is that maybe something else? Whatever.
And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
All right. Hey, on tonight's Before You Go, we are bringing you another action-packed, good, bad movie review. And Alan was looking to rebound from his latest Carrot Top flick, and I think he did in a major way. Alan, take it away with your good, bad movie
Yeah,
review.
rebound is right, guys. That was literal torture that I put myself through last time watching a Carrot Top film.
Yeah, and that was a bad movie. There was no good in that at all.
Yeah, there was no redeeming qualities to it at all. It's got famously made fun of by Norm Macdonald on a late night talk show. Like, it was bad. So we move on. I think we've upgraded. I think you guys agree that we've upgraded. And my next good bad movie this evening I'll be discussing is called The Adventures of Power. That's right. The Adventures of Power is Power singular, because that is the name of the main character. This gentleman named Power. Here, I'll read you IMDb's snippet, and then we'll kind of dive into it. Did you guys watch it by chance?
I watched the shit out of it, and I enjoyed every fucking second of it.
Thank God.
I watched it as well. Yeah.
Nice. Did you enjoy it?
I did, and I have a couple I have a couple things to say about it.
Okay. So, Adventures of Power storyline. This is a very concise synopsis. So, Adventures of Power is an epic comedy about a mine worker, copper mine in New Mexico, should I add, named Power, whose love of drums and lack of musical skill has turned him into the ridiculed air drummer of his small town. But when Power's union leader father calls for a strike at the mine, Power discovers an underground subculture of air drummers who just might hold the key to changing the world. Power's journey across America brings him face to face with his town's greatest enemy and allows him to discover the beat within his own heart. And I think that's pretty well said. So, in short, this movie is a little bit Napoleon Dynamite, a little bit Spinal Tap. I think, is a good way to kind of bring it in for everybody. But Power, a young man who has aspirations of drumming, but he can't because his father can't afford drums. He takes to air drumming, but then gets ridiculed by the town and his co-workers at the copper mine for air drumming because it's childish and trivial. So Power stumbles across after a series of mishaps and getting let go from the copper mine. Power makes his way to Mexico after finding an advertisement for an underground air drumming competition. He goes to said air drumming competition and fails miserably trying to play Tom Sawyer by Rush. That'll be a critical drum piece to this film. At which point he meets a ragtag band of air drummers based out of New Jersey, led by a man named Carlos, who Power then goes to train with before moving on to the national air drumming competitions. And then, lots of love, loss, and just adventure in this plucky coming-of-age film.
Your follow-up on that synopsis.
Well, I have to say that I actually like laugh cried at one point when Power gets on the boat to go across the from like New Jersey to New York.
The Hudson, yes.
And because it's a story of inspiration. It's a story of somebody who won't quit no matter how dumb it is and no matter how big the odds are. Like inspiration can be found in the dumbest fucking thing in the world, such as air drumming. And it's just, he's an indelible character who you can't help but like. And in the stupidest way possible, it made me really think about my own life.
It does, kind of, right? It's so weird. Wes?
Okay, so I was equating this to a Happy Gilmore meets Pitch Perfect. Okay, in the Pitch Perfect way, you're swept into this world of fake music, and then in Pitch Perfect sense, that's what it's a cappella competitions, and then
the acapellas are gonna come after us, man. Fuck.
Fine, yeah.
But assaulted.
I first of all, like the cast is pretty. Anything Michael McKean, I'm like kind of like, okay, this is gonna be funny.
Yes, Jane Lynch.
Yeah, that's correct. Adrian Grainer from
Entourage.
Yep, but okay, so when Carlos is giving Power the rundown. At this point, I already know it's a movie that's intended to be dumb. I already know that's a movie intended to like be satire and satirical by its nature. And then when he's explaining, like he's watching Adrian Grainer's character Dallas actually play drums. He's like, anyone can play drums. It bounces back. It takes the muscle memory and the muscle coordination for you to hit air and bring it back. And I was like, yeah, it does. Wait a minute. What am I thinking? I'm convinced by this guy that this is a fucking skill.
I think you touched on that. So Adrian Grenier is Power's like enemy in this film. And they come from two different worlds, right? So Power, poor, can't afford drums, loves drumming, air drums as a substitute. Adrian Grenier, very rich, comes from like oil family. What is very talented at actual drums, but his oil magnate father thinks that actual drums are a waste of time and that air drumming is where he needs to focus his time. And it's absolutely preposterous, but also frames it in such a way that really makes it aspirational.
I also think Nick Kroll as the MC during the competition kind of steals the show.
That's true. I forgot about that.
I also could. It's like for the grand prize of $2,000, and then he gets attacked because the bandmate does air tambourine or something or other.
No, and it's like bongos.
Air bongos,
which isn't air drumming by the nature.
Yes, yeah. So at the end, there's a major competition, right? And they meet. One of the Carlos Jim's air drummers gets disqualified because air bongoing is not air drumming.
Well, let's not give away the whole movie.
Oh, sorry.
We want people to we want people to witness The Adventures of Power.
Yeah. We should really see the end. And that really is the catalyst at the end of the movie. Thank you, Mur, for what I would call the emerging of from the cocoon of power,
Sure. And
of the character of power.
there's also redemption. The the girlfriend's mother, and not liking the relationship that's happening.
The deaf girlfriend who can feel the vibration.
Yes,
Mhm.
she can
Yeah,
even.
she can.
Well, it's critical to know that she's deaf because of live music.
Yes,
Yeah,
and she can feel the vibration not just of any music, but of Power's air drumming ability, a musical ability that creates no percussion. She can feel and see the music.
hmm
And when
That's true.
but the point is that Power's inability to give up causes an entire town to have the inability to give up on their strike against the Coppermind. And because of this, he saves an entire town and accomplishes his life's mission of proving that air drumming is not a monumental waste of fucking time and talent.
It's true. There's some union busting in here, so there's fun for the whole family.
Yeah, that's right. Right. It's a feel good story. 30. Let's see here. 32% on Rotten Tomatoes. So yes,
32%,
this
yeah.
does qualify as a good bad movie. 39% on was it the
The audience
Metascore?
scale.
Yeah. So hey man, whatever. Yeah, no,
5.9 from IMDb.
yeah.
Yeah, I think this is firmly in good bad movie range. If you like heartfelt comedies, this is right up your alley. Don't take it too serious.
If you like Christopher Guest movies, this is a great
Yes.
substitute.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Job well done, Alan.
Thank you.
Applaud the good bad movie.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I actually let me before because if my wife listens to this, which she will not, she does not listen to us. I'll tell you that right now. But if I don't say that she found this film as we were perusing bad movies on the internet, she will probably kill me or make me buy her a Valentine's gift. One of the two, whichever one's worse.
Now you owe me a DVD copy. Asshole.
Laserdisc.
All right, Alan. Tell all the childrens and all the shin splints having Earth flat Earth sciencers where you can find the middle class holes.
You can find all of the pertinent information that relates to painful shins and flat planets at MDL Class Holes on Instagram and Twitter. That's right. At MDL Class Holes on Instagram and Twitter. We're the Middle Class Holes on Facebook and TikTok. And for your listening pleasures, please check us out on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. We don't even fucking bother with emails anymore. Why?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, we got a couple comments from some listeners. I'm going to read these out of order and leave the best for last. So this comes from TikTok. Subconscious says this is the video where I had said I have a reoccurring dream where I have some eligibility to play some high school sports, where I don't shit myself or presumably shit in the bathroom and there's no toilet paper, but I can't find my way to the arena. But before I said that, I said, do you know what happens? Ryan Jackson 525, regular listener, says, you injure yourself? Because I did have some bad ankles and had some not chronic issues. Fuck you, Ryan. And then Grapes44 says, how the fuck are you 40? He didn't respond to my question. Yeah, man, I don't know. Coco Chanel cream, didn't smoke too much, genetics, and
We're just not we're not in 4K.
a good lighting kit, I suppose. Yeah.
If we were in 4K, it'd look like a corpse.
Yeah. Like when the lights go down, bro, I look like the Crypt Keeper. Grapes44. This is mother fu on Facebook. This is more of a sentimental one. This comes from Cindy Parker DeBonis Combs. This is a family friend of mine. She's talking about my dad and his good friend Everett. I can hear Alan and Everett. I can hear Alan right now telling Everett about this, laughing their asses off. Both have passed away. Thank you. I appreciate that. This comes via Lee Abbey and the fine arts degree clip on YouTube. Alan, do you remember the fine arts degree?
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember being like, I used to make fun of somebody with, well, I used to make fun of fine arts degrees and then forgot that I was in mixed company.
Your boss, by the way.
Which happens. Well, she's fine.
But Lee Abbey just simply said Newcastle United. I guess they saw the Magpies.
Fuck yeah.
scarf
Tune.
behind.
That's
So,
right.
And lastly, this comes from In or Around the Face. Alan, this is where you were talking about the daughter. Like, if I want to see titty, I'm going to see titty. All I know about strip clubs is dong. It gets in or around the face. This is I'm assuming it's Newcastle United fan. NUFC _fan 1977.
Mm-hmm.
Comment of the week. Maybe they'll see Piggy Bundy there with Marcy.
Nice.
Thank you.
I just want to know if it's an American Newcastle fan or a Newcastle fan talking. That's more impressive if they're from there.
Yeah, I responded. I said any Married with Children references will get mentioned on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You want to get on talk
You
about
betcha.
the Bundy family.
Yeah. You guys remember Marcy's last name?
Darcy.
Marcy Darcy.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
When-
right.
When she married Jefferson. I don't remember Steve's last name.
Jefferson. Remember Jefferson?
Yeah, because he was in fucking was it Revenge of the Nerds, dude?
I was gonna say, you're gonna say something really obscure.
He was in Crocodile Dundee 4. He was the crocodile.
I'm
He
going
had
to
a
say
suit on.
something unpopular, but I thought Steve was a better foil to Al than Jefferson, because Jefferson always sided with Al until Marcy came.
Correct.
Steve was always against Al as like some like new age fucking like feminist male. And so I kind of respected that dichotomy better.
Yeah, Jefferson was like, they were bros, right? They were gonna get caught at the strip club together.
Right.
Yeah.
No, ma'am. They were co-creators
exactly.
of No Ma'am. Yeah.
But
Whereas,
Jefferson
like,
was a bitch.
Like Steve let it slide to Marcy that Al wanted to go to a strip club, and then all hell broke loose.
Yeah.
Both comedically relevant, but yeah, that's fair.
And I don't. The audience wasn't responding well to Steve.
That's
They
true.
They had to run away.
I understand why. Jefferson was much more handsome, and they eventually they eventually explained it that he was a CIA operative that was only embedded with Marcy for some kind of fucking undercover sting that was happening.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, was that like the 7th season when they adopt a kid? I don't know. I tapped out by that point.
yeah,
Bud's
that
a
was,
rapper.
that was like the very end. That was like wrap up the show.
Yeah.
They adopted
But,
they adopted a kid named Seven or something.
When Bud was no longer like getting bullied, like a young teen or preteen getting bullied by his older sister, he was like a adult with an alcohol problem getting bullied by his older sister. You're like, I think the Bundys has kind of worn its way, worn its course.
When he wasn't jerking off in the basement any longer, I think it
When
lost-
real life Bud Bundy had like a cocaine addiction and he got arrested on the fucking evening news last night, it was really hard to be like, Kelly, bully him.
Yeah. Bully David Faustino. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I think we've gone down the Married with Children path. All right, folks.
Can I just leave you with one very important quote from?
Oh, can I say something? Then when you get one quote. Hey, very heartfelt rest in peace to Tim McCarver, longtime great catcher and commentator. When I hear Tim McCarver's voice, I always thought of the World Series. My dad hated him, and maybe that's why I loved him. Rest in peace.
That was good. That was so serious. You should have let me go first.
No, you go
I
now.
was gonna say, look,
You go now.
if you don't watch Adventures of Power, you take these words from me on behalf of Adventures of Power, and that's, I don't need drums. I am drums.
Good night.
Well, sometimes I may need a hand when I'm just too drunk to stand. I don't need your sympathy, keep your judgment too. 'Cause you just give it a little pull, and my dick's strong like bull, ready to satisfy my woman whole night through. I get drunk still